Well, we're now entering our 6th week of lockdown during the corona pandemic. A partial lockdown took place, as you will remember, on the 17th of April, and then a much tougher one on the 24th. And we've been living through all the changes that have come since then. And what I'm noticing as I talk to people is that most of us have ups and downs. That's true of my family too, 7 of us living here together at Willow Grange. For most of the time, we may be coping well, finding creative ways of spending our time at home, keeping our work going, using different mediums, connecting with family and friends in virtual but meaningful ways, appreciating nature and the beauty of spring in ways we might previously have missed. But for most of us, there seems to be the occasional bad day or difficult patch. And for some of us, that's a reality for a lot of the time. We're frustrated at not being able to go out. We feel useless without our usual work or activities. Relationships at home are strained by confinement. Loneliness and the lack of physical contact with others takes its toll. Fears for our health, our finances, or for the future overwhelm us. There are good days, yes, but there are also bad days, and we may wonder who we really are at any given point in time. Well, someone who explored that question at a very deep level was Dietrich Bonhoeffer. Bonhoeffer, you may well know, was a German pastor who was murdered by the Nazis in 1945. As a theologian and head of a seminary of the German Confessing Church at Finkenwald, he became an inspiration to German pastors who witnessed against Hitler. He was arrested in 1943 and spent time in prisons and concentration camps. And yet even in prison, he became an inspiration to those he came into contact with, not only fellow prisoners, but also the guards whose job it was to keep him locked up. And Bonhoeffer explored the challenges he faced, the good days and also the bad days, in a very honest way. He did this through a poem entitled Who Am I? And I think it offers comfort to us as we live through a period of being locked down and in some cases isolated from family and friends. And so I'll read this poem for us now. Who am I? They often tell me I stepped from my cell's confinement calmly, cheerfully, firmly, like a squire from his country house. Who am I? They often tell me I used to speak to my warders freely and friendly and clearly, as though it were mine to command. Who am I? They also tell me I bore the days of misfortune equably, smilingly, proudly, like one accustomed to win. Am I then that which other men tell of me? Or am I only what I myself know of myself? Restless and longing and sick, like a bird in a cage, struggling for breath as though hands were compressing my throat, yearning for colours, for flowers, for the voices of birds, thirsting for words of kindness, for neighbourliness, tossing in expectation of great events, powerlessly trembling for friends at an infinite distance, weary and empty at praying, at thinking, at making, faint and ready to say farewell to it all. Who am I, this or the other? Am I one person today and tomorrow another? Am I both at once, a hypocrite before others, and before myself, a contemptible, woe-begone weakling? Or is something within me like a beaten army, fleeing in disorder from victory already achieved? Who am I? They mock me, these lonely questions of mine. Whoever I am, thou knowest, O God, I am thine.